Today's topic is adaptation of plants. Okay, now before we start, what is the meaning of adaptation? The word adapt, can you tell me what it is? That means the adjustment or changes in behavior, physiology or structure of an organism to become more suited to an environment. According to the environment, the organisms fit themselves, that is called adaptations. Our topic for today is plant adaptations. In our next class, I will teach you about animal adaptations. Now, how are the different plants adapt themselves according to their environment? Yes, you might have observed that many plants are not seen in some regions. Why? I can give you one example. For example, a cactus plant. We are not able to see in the grasslands, but we can see them in the Arctic region. Now, how they are adapted structurally? Adaptations for defense. For example, poison ivy and poison oak, they have toxins in them which helps them to fight against the predators. Why? How? The predators will start having a itching rashes. Next, adaptations for defense. For the defense from the predators, they are having spines and thorns which will protect the plants. Adaptations for reproduction. For example, many seeds are very light, so through the wind they can transfer from one place to another. Also, some fruits are very juicy and very attractful. So, what will happen? That they will attract the animals. So, in this way, the seeds can be dispersed from one place to another. Adaptations to get food. Leaves and stem, they absorb energy from the sun. Adaptations to get water and nutrients. You have seen from this figure that how the roots are evenly spread. So, the soaking up water and nutrients from the soil is very easy. Adaptations to get food. Plants lean or grow towards the sun. Roots, you can see that they grow down into the soil. Vines, you can call it climbers also, they climb up trees to catch the sunlight. Behavior adaptations. Adaptations to get food. For example, Venus flytrap. You have seen this plant? Yes, okay. If you have not seen, Google it and you see that how the plant is adapted. What happens in this plant? If suppose any insects or any flies, if they enter the plants, it will get trapped and it will digest the insect. Plant adaptation for different biomass. Desert adaptations. The first topic I am taking is desert. Yes, it is very common. You have seen many different types of plants. Example, cactus plant. They are having very small leaves or you can see the spines on the plant. Why? Because they can conserve water. You can see that they are having very thicky waxy skin which holds the water. And the roots near the soil surface soak up rain water quickly before it gets evaporated. Also, they can store water in the stems or leaves. Some plants you might have seen that they are not having any leaves, but the water storage takes place in the stem and also the photosynthesis takes place by the stems. They are having long root systems which are spread out wide and they are very deep into the ground to absorb water. Leaves with hair help shade the plant which will reduce the water loss. Many plants have leaves that turn throughout the day to expose a minimum surface area to the heat. Spines discourage animals from eating plants for water. Waxy coating on the stems and leaves will help to reduce the water loss. Slower growing requires less energy. The plants do not have to make as much as food and therefore do not lose as much water. Now, the next topic is TAIGA plant adaptations, which is you can see in colder regions. Many trees are evergreen so that plants can photosynthesize right away when temperature rises. When trees have needle-like leaves which shape loses less water and shades snow more easily than broad leaves. Waxy coating on the needles, it prevents evaporation. Needles are dark in color so that the solar heat can be absorbed easily. Many trees have branches that drop downwards to help shed excess snow to keep the branches from breaking. Plant adaptations in water, that is aquatic plants. Water adaptations. Flexible stems are there which move with the water currents. Floating seeds spread offspring. Plant adaptations in water, examples, leaves and stems, they are flexible to move with water currents. Some plants have air spaces in the stems to help and to hold the plant up in the water. Submerged plants lack strong water transport system in the stems. Instead, water, nutrients and dissolved gases are absorbed through the leaves directly from the water. Roots and root hair reduce or they are absent at all. Roots only needed for anchorage, not for the absorption of the nutrients and water. Some plants have leaves that float atop the water, exposing themselves to the sunlight. In floating plants, chlorophyll is restricted to the upper surface of the leaves and the upper surface is waxy to repel the water. Some plants produce seeds that can float. Now, we will move to tropical rainforest plant adaptations. They are smooth, slippery bark keeps vines from killing trees. Slide shaped leaves lets rain run off so fungus does not grow on plants. Smooth bark and smooth or waxy flowers speed the runoff of the water. Plants have shallow roots to help capture nutrients from the top layer of the soil. Also, orchids have aerial roots that cling to the host plant. They absorb the minerals and absorb water from the atmosphere. Yes, instead of collecting water with the roots, they collect rainwater into the central reservoir from which they can absorb easily the water through hairs on their leaves. Drip, trips and waxy surfaces allow water to run off to discourage growth of bacteria and fungi. Some plants climb on others to reach the sunlight. Some plants grow on other plants to reach the sunlight. Flowers on the forest floor are designed to lure animal pollinators since there is relatively no wind on the forest floor to aid in pollination. Tender adaptation. Small plants grow close to the ground for warmth. Dark color flowers, they absorb heat from the sun. Fusy stems provide protection from the wind. Temperate forest adaptations. In these plants, there are the thick barks which protects trees and dropping leaves, and winter which conserves water and nutrients during cold winters. Okay, thank you.